You just said yes to something you didn't want to do. Again. And now you're lying in bed replaying it, feeling that familiar knot in your stomach. You aren't nice because you're good. You're nice because you're afraid. Let me show you the difference before someone else takes advantage of it. Because right now, someone already is. Here's what nobody told you. Your kindness is a crime scene, and you're both the victim and the weapon. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're not being generous. You're performing a survival trick your nervous system learned years ago. It's called the Fawn Response. Fight, flight, freeze. And fawn. When you couldn't fight back and couldn't run away, you learned to please, to smile, to accommodate, to become so helpful, so agreeable, so nice that the threat would leave you alone. Maybe it was a parent who exploded unpredictably. Maybe it was a teacher who punished you for speaking up. Maybe it was a friend group where disagreement meant exile. Your brain ran the calculations. Conflict equals danger. Compliance equals survival. It worked back then. But now it's destroying you. And you don't even see it happening. And here's the part that's going to make you uncomfortable. There are people who can sense this about you. They can smell your inability to say no like a shark smells blood in water. They're circling right now, in your workplace, in your family, maybe even in your relationship. Stay with me. This gets darker before it gets better. But if you click away now, you'll keep bleeding for years. Psychologists call it pathological altruism, helping others to the point of self-destruction. But let's drop the textbook language. You're bleeding yourself dry because conflict feels like death. Someone asks you for a favor, your brain doesn't process it as a simple request. It registers it as a threat assessment. If I say no, they'll be angry. If they're angry, I'm not safe. If I'm not safe, I'm in danger. All of this happens in microseconds, below your conscious awareness. So you say yes every single time. You cancel your plans. You give away your time. You work through lunch. You skip the gym. You answer texts at midnight. You shrink yourself. You apologize for existing. And the whole time, you tell yourself a story. I'm just a good person. I'm kind. I'm helpful. No, you're terrified. And you've been terrified for so long that you've mistaken it for your personality. Here's the twisted part. Your niceness isn't attracting good people into your life. It's attracting predators, narcissists, energy vampires, manipulators, users, takers. They don't see your kindness as a virtue. They see it as a weakness they can exploit. Think of it like this. Healthy people want equals. They want relationships with mutual respect and reciprocity. But toxic people, they don't want equals. They want servants, and you've been trained to serve. You think you're building relationships. They see a vending machine that never says out of order. They push, you fold. They take, you give. They demand, you apologize. They create emergencies that only you can solve. They guilt trip you with phrases like, I thought I could count on you, or you're the only one who understands. And because you can't tolerate their disappointment, you sacrifice yourself again. The cycle never stops because you can't access the one thing that would end it. The word no. If you don't learn this now, you'll wake up at 45 realizing you built a life serving everyone except yourself. Your dreams on hold. Your bank account drained. Your energy depleted. All because you were too afraid to disappoint people who never worried about disappointing you. Don't let that be you. Picture someone. Let's call her Maya. Maya is so nice. Everyone says so. She's such a sweetheart. Her coworker dumps extra work on her every Friday at 4:45 p.m. She stays late every week. Her friend borrows money and never pays it back. Maya doesn't mention it. She just stops buying coffee to cover the gap. Her family expects her to host every holiday. She smiles through the exhaustion and the credit card debt. Her partner makes plans without asking her. She adjusts. Always adjusts. Maya has no boundaries because boundaries feel like violence to her nervous system. Setting a limit feels like detonating a bomb. So she stays quiet, stays small, stays safe. Except she's not safe. She's creating her own suffering, week after week. Year after year. One day she snaps. Not at the people using her, at herself. She's crying in her car in a parking lot, asking, "Why am I like this? Why can't I just say no?" Because Maya, your niceness isn't a personality trait. It's a prison you rebuild every morning. And you're the architect, the guard, and the prisoner. Every yes that should have been a no cost you something. Your time, your energy, your self-respect, your future. Add it up. What does your niceness actually cost you? Now here's the thing that's going to rewire your brain. True virtue isn't the absence of aggression. It's the control of aggression. A harmless person isn't virtuous. They're just harmless. A person who could destroy you but chooses not to, that's virtue. That's real strength. Think about it. A rabbit doesn't eat meat. Is that morality? No. It's just a rabbit. It doesn't have a choice. A wolf that could devour you but walks away? That's a choice. That's power under control. You don't have a sword in its sheath. You don't even have a sword, and you're calling that goodness. But it's not goodness. It's just weakness with good PR. Real compassion requires the capacity for cruelty that you consciously refuse to use. Real kindness comes from a person who could say something devastating but chooses silence. Real generosity comes from someone who could refuse but chooses to give. The key word is could. If you can't do the opposite, you're not making a moral choice. You're just following your programming. The people draining you right now are counting on you not figuring this out. They need you to stay confused, to keep believing that boundaries are selfish. Don't give them another day. So let's reframe everything you thought you knew about yourself. Your inability to say no isn't kindness. It's cowardice dressed up as compassion. Your guilt when you prioritize yourself? That's not conscience. That's conditioning from people who benefited from your self-betrayal. Your desire to keep everyone happy? That's not love. That's a trauma response. That's your nervous system trying to prevent an attack that isn't coming. You're fighting ghosts. Real kindness comes from abundance, not fear. Real generosity requires the ability to refuse. You can't truly give what you can't withhold. If you have to say yes, it's not generosity. It's compliance. It's slavery with a smile. Here's the truth bomb. The people who love you don't want your forced compliance. They want your authentic choice. When you can't say no, your yes means nothing. Your relationships are built on your fear, not your love. And deep down, you know this. That's why you feel so empty, even when you're surrounded by people. Because nobody knows the real you. They only know the performance. So how do you escape this? Start small. Say no to something that doesn't matter. Something low stakes. No, I can't cover your shift this weekend. No, I'm not lending money right now. No, I'm not available for a call tonight. Feel the panic rise. That's your nervous system screaming that you're in danger. Let it pass. Breathe through it. Notice that you didn't die. Notice that the person probably just said, okay, and moved on. And if they didn't? If they got angry or manipulative or cold? Congratulations. You just identified someone who was using you. Build the muscle. Train your nervous system that conflict isn't fatal. Each no recalibrates your threat detection. Each boundary rewires your brain. Learn to access your anger, not to weaponize it, to respect it. Your anger is information. It's your internal alarm system telling you when your boundaries are being violated. If you can't feel angry, you can't protect yourself. You've been taught that anger is bad, that it makes you a bad person. That's a lie designed to keep you controllable. Anger is neutral. It's what you do with it that matters. Grow teeth, build claws, develop the capacity to be dangerous, then choose not to bite. That's the difference between being nice and being good. Nice people get used, they get drained, they get discarded when they're empty. Good people build boundaries and enforce them without apology. Good people create relationships based on mutual respect. not fear-based compliance. The people who truly love you will respect your no. They'll be relieved, actually, because now they can trust your yes. The people who don't respect your boundaries, they were never on your side anyway. They were on the side of the version of you that served them. Let that version die. You're not here to be convenient. You're not here to shrink so others feel comfortable. You're not here to be a supporting character in everyone else's story. You're here to build a life that doesn't require you to betray yourself every single day. Stop performing safety. Start choosing strength. Stop being nice to people who aren't even kind to you. Start being good to yourself. Your kindness without boundaries isn't a gift to the world. It's a theft from yourself. And the person stealing from you is you. Take it back. Starting today. See you in the next video.